get started. With the pandemic caused by the coronavirus, I will be asking questions regarding our present situation. My first three questions is intended for Mr. Katubay. Here are the questions, Mr. Katubay. How does COVID-19 affect you as a student?
Okay, how does COVID-19 affect me as a student? Well, first off, we didn't have our senior high school graduation because of COVID, and now I'm in my second year in college. Back when I was a freshman, up until now, distant learning is so mental breaking, so tiring, because you don't have your friends or classmates to study with. And yeah, learning becomes tiring.
What do you think are its advantage?
Advantage. Oh, in this darkness, there are still bright things happen. For example, for our environment, the pollution and the excessive use of nature are minimized, and it helps me. This pandemic helps me. It also helps me to think of myself, my future goals and stuff. So that those are the advantages I think of COVID.
What do you think are its disadvantage?
Disadvantage. Well, I think it will affect the economy's growth because a lot of workers stop working during COVID, and also the citizens, especially those in poverty, they are the most affected because as I said, many workers didn't have the opportunity to work during COVID. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Katubay, for your answers. So the next one to answer the question is Mr. Rosero. Mr. Rosero, how did you adjust with the changes during the pandemic?
A year after COVID-19 pandemic has emerged, we have suddenly been forced to adapt the new normal such as work from home setting, parents homeschooling their children in a new blended learning setting, lockdown, quarantine, the mandatory wearing of face masks and face shields in public. As students, we are adopting a new way of learning to prevent the direct interaction that may cause of spreading the virus. We are improvising and adapting to overcome those challenges and struggles we've been through. To priority our health, we follow the rules and regulations by the LGU and the government to slowly eradicate the COVID-19 that help us to survive to the best new normal or enriches our lives and our work in the future.
Does COVID-19 cause a mental health issue to you?
It has a tremendous effect on me, especially as students who are getting into financial pressure and social isolation. I experience getting into outer daily routines. It is extremely frightening and very fear-inducing that may overcome anxiety and feeling stressed or angry. Its impact can be particularly difficult for me to focus on my studies and personal matter because I already be social isolated and experiencing loneliness that can worsen my mental health.
How did you, student, or you adjust to the new way of learning?
As a student, I adapt new way of learning is different from usual classes before. I focus and I adjust on my daily routine and studies to focus and will help me to learn something. And also I start learning some application and learning to adapt the new way of teaching and learning as a teacher. And to maintain the engagement in the learning process, I also alter my routines and studies to acquire and understand more the new way of learning.
Thank you, Mr. Rosero, for your answers. Mr. Castillas, in your own opinion, why do students need to have vaccine for COVID-19?
Hi, this is Prince Charles Castillas. I'm here to answer some questions. So first off, why do students need to have COVID-19 vaccines? Well, first off, in today's era, today's time period, pandemic is really the cause of economic crippleness and many deaths are caused by COVID. on the past 2 years, and that is very serious. So to stop the COVID, vaccines are the topmost step to completely eradicate the COVID.
How important are vaccines for the students?
How important is the vaccine for the students? Well, I I'm gonna say that it is the top priority requirements for the face-to-face classes, because it can make us safe. So without the anxiety of getting contacted with the COVID, vaccines are the most essential requirement for the face-to-face classes.
As a student, does this pandemic remove your sense of belonging?
Well, to be honest, yes. It really took my sense of belonging. I started my freshman year with this type of program, which is the online learning. And now, still online learning. It don't have much peers and some many friends as of today, because we don't have much interaction with each other. All are online, and compared to the face-to-face, we have interaction, we became friends because of each other on work, school works, and everything. But today, we're just gonna go online and just quit. No outdoor activities, nor hangout. So yeah, it really took our sense of belonging, my sense of belonging. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Castillas, for your answers. Miss Inot, what are your thoughts about the implementation of public restriction due to COVID?
Public restriction is the best option to lessen contact and also to reduce the volume of those infected people. But we cannot deny the fact that due to this public restriction, poor people were mostly affected, and we cannot stop them from complaining and reacting to this. But the best thing that we should do is cooperate, so that this virus will stop spreading and we can go back to our normal living. We need to sacrifice things and to follow healthy protocols. Our government is doing their best to help us, so let us do our best to help everyone.
As a student, how do you cope up with the challenges brought by this pandemic?
It wasn't actually easy to cope up with this pandemic. Because of this, it has given me a lot of stress, and I was able to see the real colors of other people. We're not only attacked by the infectious disease, but we're also attacked by other people. Depression, loneliness, confusion, stress, all with mixed emotion wasn't easy to handle, especially when you are stuck at home and no one to lean on, because other people are also battling their own problems.
Have you made a learning gain since schools are partially closed during the pandemic?
The thing that I needed the most that time was fresh air, because the air at home was really suffocating. But because of the restrictions and we're not allowed to go out and we need to stay at home. So what I did is to look for something that would interact with my inner self. I watch K-dramas, write poetry, stories, listen to music, dance, sing, whatever that would distract my mind and to release my stress. That was really helpful to cope up with this pandemic. And the last thing, which is the very effective coping mechanism, prayers. Prayer important to learn, because you were playing your phone the whole year before. Now you're holding your gadgets for your class. Imagine how suffocating it is. Now I learned to procrastinate, which is not really me. Before I even bring my papers and notebooks, books to review before the exam, and also do my projects and assignments the moment it was given to me. Now we actually don't know how you're going to learn with your chosen profession, and you're stuck with what ifs and stressed. Maybe I'll learn self-studying, especially with my profession or choosing course. And to be honest, not everyone is given the opportunity for this online class. And yeah, overall, actually, I don't have any learning gain.
Thank you, Miss Inot, for your answers. Mr. Anori, knowing that face-to-face classes is just around the corner, are you prepared to shift back to that traditional way of learning?
In this COVID-19 outbreak, there have been many changes. Schools and universities have been closed down. Face-to-face class is prohibited, and that has affected students' education. So for me, I am not saying that I am really prepared, but I preferred face-to-face class than online learning because it is important to have a real-time interaction between students and teachers. This is also a great opportunity for people who learn better through cooperative activities and group work. It is also improving social skills that every student needs. It also enhances confidence, motivation, and cooperation. Thank you.
As a student, what can you contribute to lessen the spread of the virus?
Well, as a student, I think the best thing that I can do to help lessen the spread of the virus is to follow the minimum health protocols implemented, such as wearing of face masks, often washing of hands properly, and avoiding large crowds and practice social distancing. And I think that could help lessen the spread of the virus.
Do you agree that unvaccinated students cannot enter inside the school premises when face-to-face classes is implemented? Explain.
Thank you, Miss. I agree. We all know that the virus is just around the corner. So, in my opinion, students must be fully vaccinated before entering the school grounds, not only to protect themselves but the people around them. Unvaccinated students should not be in contact with other students since they are more vulnerable to getting the virus and could spread the virus fast in school. And also, it is very crucial for unvaccinated students because they could still be infected with the virus and can spread it to other people. So being fully vaccinated is important.
Thank you everyone for your answers and participation. Good day.